I don't know if you're feeling this, but I'm definitely feeling that life is becoming a lot harder now than it was 3, 5 years ago or more. I feel like life now, it's just become like a rat race in the sense that everyone is trying to get something done quickly at a certain point. Everyone just seems very stressed. Everyone just seems, when I, go out in public and I look at people, right? And you do this people watching, or you're just aware of people. I've noticed that everyone just seems very concerned and very anxious, and everyone is just like glued to their phones and not really paying attention to what's around them. And even I, for one, have also felt this like just like this real strange sense of anxiety and dread that I feel inside of me. And the only times when I don't feel this type of feeling is when I'm doing exercise, or when I am going for a walk, or when I'm doing some sort of physical activity. That is the only time when I feel that I don't have a sense of anxiety or dread, or just this worry. I have this sense of worry about the future, even though I know that the future is not guaranteed, and even though I know that the present is all we have, right? But it's just, as every day goes by, I've noticed this about myself. And it's weird, because maybe because I'm alone, I do not live with anyone. That could be the reason. It could be that. But even when I'm surrounded by people, even when I'm around people, I still feel this sense of worry or anxiety, or just like this strange feeling inside of me. And the only remedy to that, for me, is physical activity, going to the gym to lift, going for a run, skipping, going for a walk, doing some sort of activity that gets my heart rate up. And I've also noticed that whenever I feel that type of way too, I tend to just like scroll through YouTube and watch like endless videos, because YouTube has become so addictive now. Social media has become really addictive in general. There's just, you open up the home page, you go to the home page, and there's like so many videos that are just recommended to you, and they have beautiful thumbnails, right? Really, really catchy, eye-catching thumbnails. Really, really eye-catching, colors and stuff that surround the thumbnail. And it's all catered towards, you sticking to, you get stuck in this endless tunnel. You fall into this endless tunnel of social media consumption, and then you don't realize how much time goes by. And then when I finish watching these videos, at the beginning, yeah, it's really interesting, or I'm getting a little bit of information. But when the video is done, I'm moving on to another subject or another topic. So I'm moving from the topics about physical fitness, and then moving on to topics about self-improvement, and then I'm moving about topics to video games, because everything is just so beautifully done and addictive, these YouTube videos and stuff like that, and even the shorts. And when I watch all this, when I'm done, I feel tired. I feel mentally exhausted. I feel like I don't want to do anything, right? And I'm just trying to fill this void, inside of me through doom scrolling. And it's crazy, because I see people now in public. They do this all the time. They sit in their car. I'm also a victim. They sit in their car, even if they're on like a 2-3 minute break. They're waiting for their husband or wife to get out of the store, or their friend. The moment they have time for themselves, in order to fill that void, they take out their phone and they're scrolling through videos. Whenever I go to the doctor's office, or whenever I'm seated somewhere, I look around, I see everyone just on their phones, playing games, or just as the same thing, just scrolling through social media, TikTok, right? All that stuff. And I feel like now people don't socialize as much. The only people I've noticed that like to socialize, that don't use their phone a lot, are older people who are like in their 50s, 60s, 70s. They are more social. And I feel like they are more happier than us. People in our generation, in our 20s, in our 30s, like, I feel like they're a lot happier, because they actually have a proper social circle. They're socializing with people without having to use their phones. And they're not too worried about the future. They're not too worried about the past because they know the past is the past. They're just in the present moment and they're just content with their lives, and they're not addicted to doom scrolling and stuff like that because they know that socializing, having a good social community is so important to have, you know? And I feel like my generation, like the younger generation, we're just love technology. We're just addicted to technology. Using we're constantly playing video games. There's the latest video games are always coming out, right? You finish one game, you move on to the next. You finish one YouTube video, you move on to the next. You finish scrolling through your Instagram reels, you move on to TikTok. You move from TikTok, you move on to X, which is used to be Twitter. Then you move on to YouTube. But we never have time to just like relax and chill out, or even talk face to face with people, which is what we lack. A lot of us just like talk to our friends online, through when playing video games and stuff like that. It's okay to do that, but I think a lot of us do it way too much. We do it way too much. And yeah, it's crazy because when I am playing a game, for example, and say if I'm playing a single player game, it's like it's very enjoyable. A lot of single player games have an amazing campaign, amazing story. But I notice that when I keep playing it, I feel like, man, I wish I could play it with someone else. You know what I mean? But the thing is, it's like I would rather go outside in public and just like hang out with a buddy, talk to them, have socialize with them, you know, and but not be on our phones, not having to use technology. I remember when I was a kid, I used to go on bike rides with all of my friends. We used to bike around the neighborhood. We had like 20, 30 of us, like a big group. And that was like some of the most amazing moments. It was a lot of fun because we were in the present moment, we were having a good time. But now, kids in this generation, they go outside, but what are they doing? They're playing Nintendo Switch, or they're playing whatever, the Nintendo DS or whatever. And they're playing that with their buddy that's sitting next to them, but they're not talking to each other. They're just playing the game. And yeah, it's crazy because I think it damages us, man. We lose our natural human tendency to socialize in person. Like, we lose a lot of the human touch, that what makes us human. And yeah, it's crazy. Like, I feel like technology has caused more harm than good for society. That's just my opinion. I feel like technology has become so addictive and we're so reliant upon it because it's so convenient. It's so easy to use, right? And it makes a lot of things autonomous, right? And all of these things, right? Because of the convenience, because of the ease of it, we tend to use these tools more often than usual. But what happens is something else gets taken away from us, right? Our focus gets taken away. Our ability to work hard gets taken away because everything is just you can just do everything online easily. So a lot of that is taken away from us, and then we become very lazy, we become very comfortable. We don't want to take the hard route, we always take the easy route. Like, I would say, like, we take easy mode, we don't go to hard mode, if life is a video game. But that's just the reality, and I think it's sad because we need to really try to limit our time that we spend on social media. Limit our time to like a certain amount, like maybe an hour a day or something like that, and not constantly just be in this matrix, in this loop, this endless tunnel of consumption and reliance upon technology all the time. Because when you think about it, the reality is who created technology? Humans created technology. We created it. We put in the work and the effort to create technology to make our lives easier. But we need to go back to that. We need to remind ourselves that we are the ones that created technology. We are the ones that created AI. AI did not create us. We created AI, right? We need to realize this, that the fundamentals, we need to go back to the foundation of genuine human interaction, and also be able to have self-control, over our impulses of having to use technology all the time for everything that we need to do. Chat GPT makes everything easier for us. When we use Chat GPT, you can create prompts for essays, or you know, if you want to start a YouTube channel, you can create prompts for that. If you want to write an essay, you can use Chat GPT for that. You can use AI tools for that. Makes things so much easier. But we need to remember that the best ideas, the most original ideas, the most innovative and novel ideas come from our heads, not from AI, not from that. It comes from our soul, and that's what makes us us. That's what makes us unique. You know, everyone is original in their own way, right? But when we are consuming all this technology, we become the same thing. We just become a consumer. We become like a slave to technology. And it shouldn't be that way. We need to be able to have self-control, and we need to be able to balance our lives, you know, with real interaction with people, with real hard work. We're really putting in the work, compared to constantly socializing with people online, constantly letting the technology do the work for us. We cannot completely rely on that. We cannot, because it'll ruin us in the future. It'll make us, I feel like it'll just make us dumber. It'll make, we'll just be like mindless puppets, if we don't do something about this.